Welcome, foolish mortals and my funners. We have to come up with a better name than funners. It's so I can't even. We have to submit suggestions in the comments.
You say
on what
fun,
you guys
fun,
want to be
funners
called.
As if we have ever used the term funners before.
Yeah, I think so. At least I have in my mind, when I think about them. When I think about the people who watch, But with Dallin and I, all the people who follow us, all of our, religious followers, there are mort holes, There are foolish mort holes.
Always will be.
Yeah, and they always will be. They're listening right now, and bless you. Bless you. Thank you for coming over to this new channel and following Dallin and I now that we have professional help. Now that we have a professor, a magic professor taking care of us.
The Haunted Mansion canon character.
I have to introduce you.
Okay, I'm getting too excited. The mort holes are here.
That's right, mort holes. I have resurrected him once again back into the podcast. It is Dallin. All right, Dallin, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, in the words of the canonical character from the Haunted Mansion that we all know exists, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
bless
Jesus
you for
Christ.
tuning in.
Bless you. Yes, thank you. Thank you. You know what, Dallin?
Yeah.
What if we partnered up on this? And you're going to like this idea, I think. What if we got like a Haunted Mansion religious paraphernalia like Etsy business? I'm talking like headless ghost rosemary beads. You know what I mean?
Prayer candles.
I'm talking like those tall candles.
Yeah.
They're with all the ghosts on them. You know what I mean?
Stretching portrait prayer candles. They're all real tall. It makes sense.
And there's a little golden sticker on all of our products that says approved by canonical Haunted Mansion character Jesus H. Christ.
He is in the right.
With the prayer hands.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like
You're
a
right.
Bible store prayer hand. Let us know. Let Dallin and I know.
Yeah, let us know
on
if we need to get into the
religious.
religious paraphernalia business.
I will have to inform you that you are late to the game. There are already stretching room prayer candles.
That's different. It's one thing to take. It's one thing, Nathan, to take a long.
Industries.
It's one thing to take a already.
Right.
Vertical image already long. It's like making a hot dog prayer candle. Easy. Right. Dallin and I are going to reinvent the wheel.
Mortal Industries will bring you the best product.
Right. We're not just printing stickers and putting them on already existing prayer candles. We're going to go the extra mile.
Yes, exactly. We're going to have them certified by Jesus H. Christ. Like, you know what I mean? So
at the mansion itself, too.
Right. Yeah. Oh, my gosh. It's going to be great. All right, now, guys, it's time to start the podcast. All right. Well, I have Dallin here, as always. The People Mover Duke.
That's me.
I love that, by the way.
Yeah.
What a great name.
I am the People Mover Duke, for sure.
Yeah. I have some Haunted Mansion news I want to just talk to you about quickly. Let's just check in on the mansion. And the first big thing is there's a lot of construction going on at the mansion. Dallin, have you been on location to see the construction?
I have. Not recently. Last time I was in town was 2 months ago for D23 in Anaheim. And I have seen, we did get to go into the Haunted Mansion queue. They've rearranged some stuff. It looks really good. And the more time passes, the more you can see the extended queue taking form. They're building a huge, what looks like mausoleum crypt back there to hide an elevator. And then, yes, right here we can see the up-and-coming gift shop that has... Dan, can you tell we've entered a new fiscal year based on the progress of construction over the past week? Can you tell that?
Oh, hey, I've seen the Mickey Views thumbnail. I know we're in a new fiscal year, buddy. We're things are moving, man. We've got money to spend now. I just don't understand Oaken's trading post outside of the Haunted Mansion. It just doesn't tell any story to me. It is such a frozen, building.
Right. I think it might be the purple that's kind of throwing a lot of people off. If they had made it sort of that same style of, maybe not necessarily, what's the word I'm looking for? Plantation style. I can't remember the word. Of the actual mansion. Something.
Yeah.
Antebellum.
Yeah.
The antebellum style.
Antebellum style, right.
That's certainly what we want more of in our parks these days is antebellum.
Exactly. And that's why I think
antebellum representation.
Right.
Yeah. Thanks, Dallin. You're really painting a picture.
They didn't do that on purpose, but I think the stark architecture difference is a bit noticeable. I think if they would have gone maybe with something more Like, just make it look like the mausoleum that you exit out through, just a big mausoleum that you walk into, have some, skeleton hands poking out of some.
Yeah, I don't think anyone
tombs.
minds imagery of like big marble things. Yeah, I think you could always get away with that,
Dan,
like that, like tomb.
For our now almost 1,000 listeners in audio only form, could you explain to them what you're seeing in these photos if they're not on YouTube?
They're just building a big hut outside the Haunted Mansion.
That's pretty much it.
It's just a big hut.
It's not antebellum, just so we're very clear.
No,
it's frozen.
Nope. Certainly
it's Norwegian.
Not a slave house.
It's meant
not
to
a slave
look
house.
like, well, it's supposed to be Madame Leota's like fortune-telling parlor is the whole theme of it. It's going to be Madame Leota themed, and so that's why.
What? That's the story?
I believe that's the story.
Wasn't it supposed to be like a garden shed or something?
The garden shed is in what is now going to be the extended queue.
Oh, okay. I combined them in my skull at some point.
Do you think that Disney could get away with having a fortune teller in the park right now for like $5-10? Get your fortune.
They absolutely would have back in the day. Now, I don't know.
It's more acceptable now. It's more acceptable.
It's more acceptable now because I think people understand that it's more like a therapeutic thing, like getting a lavender candle, more than it has like actual peer-reviewed use.
No, I agree.
Like it's advertised. It's like, I can use this as a device to like help me understand my feelings about things. And there's like kind of like this modern understanding. But I think like in the storytelling lore of the park, a palm reader would be like, burn her.
Well, the problem, I think the problem too is I have this very funny image of like someone's like a tear coming down their cheek as someone tells them that like their mother is like still thinking about them, and then they're like, "I'm sorry, I gotta go. I got a lightning lane.
For Tiana's
I gotta
adventures
go
right now."
What I think would have to be it'd be more like a interaction meet and greet, sort of like roll up and be like, ooh, spooky, wookie.
You know what, Nathan? I'm here for that. Like almost like a state fair sideshow-esque woman with her head in a table inside a glass ball.
Yeah, that's funny.
With a mirror in front of it, and you can kind of walk around it in a parlor, circular, and the illusion maintains. You're like,
I think go full like on a cart. And like it's very clear that she's just sitting in a thing.
What, like Chip on Broadway and Beauty and the Beast? That's so lame.
Exactly.
Everyone's gonna know a woman's in a cart.
I think it's a gag. That's the joke here, right? The gag is like, oh, like we've heard of these spirits, but now like give us your money, and we have Madame Leota right here, and it's like totally fake and doesn't look like it looks like a person that stuck their head in a box, right? And that's kind of the gag of the streetmosphere.
Okay,
right.
Sure. I can take that.
Right. That's what I was thinking, because like in my brain, I was thinking something along the lines of the magic shop on Main Street, where that is not, I don't believe it's run by Disney. It's a third party who runs the magic shop at Disneyland's Main Street. So, and if you ask me, honestly, we're in a new fiscal year. Spend all the money you want. But Disney, I think if they were to cut something to avoid having to pay people, it'd be that magic shop employee, the magic shop cast member who does all the magic tricks. But if they did a palm reader or a fortune teller, I think it would be probably third party in a similar way the magic shop would be. It is currently on Main Street. That's my running theory.
More close hand magic would be just nice everywhere.
Yeah, magic's great. Dallin, you learning some magic?
I can neither confirm nor deny that I'm learning some magic for a video coming up soon, a little card trick.
Wow, you're learning magic for a video?
These are some cool little, these are the D23 cards. Dan, you probably have these too. They're really, really cool. They sent them in the pack, so I'm going to do a whole video with these, but maybe we can work that into a Haunted Mansion video, some up-close magic with in the Haunted Mansion, like as we're in the Doom Buggies, kind of thing.
Oh, we all have cards?
Oh my God, these hideous cards. These cards were the nicest thing that were in the pack.
I think so. I also do have the D23 David Blaine playing cards over here too. I came into possession of a lot of playing cards for no reason.
Did you get him to sign them or anything?
Hell no, I don't even know where that guy went after he disappeared off the stage.
No one knows where he goes into another dimension like Nightcrawler in the X-Men.
Blaine realm.
Oh yeah, Blaine's fine. Copperfield's the one that's the problem now.
Yo, man, I love... When I was a kid, I watched this Copperfield special where it was like a best of like late age Copperfield, and he was like doing like a best of his illusions. And the entire premise of the special was David Blaine trying to get laid. Like, there's like a beautiful blonde woman laying on like a lounge in a warehouse, and she's like, so what's so impressive about you? This is how this is not how it actually was, but this is how I'm remembering it. She's like, so what's so impressive about you? He's like, baby, I'm magic. And she's like, what do you mean?
Well, no, he probably is like,
here are my illusions.
I can do magic.
Yeah.
And she slowly falls in love with him throughout the video.
Sweet. Yeah.
Wait, really, David Blaine was in a David Copperfield special?
No, David Copperfield, not David Blaine.
Oh, okay. I was thinking David Blaine. I was like, you're putting way too much emotion in these words.
Copperfield, Dave. Look, we're going to put the cancel stuff on the side for a second. It's kind of a sexy dude. Like, when it came to, like...
Copperfield?
Like prime Copperfield? Like, why would he even have trouble?
Hey, man, if that's your flavor, Nathan...
It's not my flavor.
Dude, you just said he was sexy.
I didn't say it. Dan didn't say it.
Alan and I didn't agree. You stood alone in that.
May I recommend the Theory 11 playing card set, which is very fun.
Don't deflect. Don't start.
He's changing the topic.
Don't change the conversation.
I don't want to like be cut in half by
own up to
sexy
that
80s Copperfield.
I'm not trying to change the subject, but I did just remember there is fortune telling in the park in some way.
Oh, that machine.
Oh,
yeah. On Main Street, and the pirate guy in New Orleans Square, he gives you a little fortune card. I'm looking at it.
Okay. So if they in that little gift shop have like 5 to 10 of those, all themed differently, like mansion characters, they would instantly win my heart. That feels like old Imagineering, you know?
That would be super, super cool, I think.
I've been at IAPA. They have a whole booth. Every time I go, they're like, hey, man, you want us to turn you into a fortune-telling booth? I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, we can make a you in a booth that people get a fortune from. I'm like, I still don't understand what you're saying. And then they take me over to a mannequin in a booth dressed like Santa, and they're like, we could use this shell. I was like, you son of a bitch.
So close.
What are you saying, sir?
I thought I'd be walking through the boardwalks in random cities and see myself in these booths.
Right. Yeah. But you can literally custom order them to look like anything, and I think it'd be so cool. Wouldn't it be amazing to have
awesome.
A Leota one, a Hbox Ghost one, and gimmicky? Like, you know how like theme parks, you know how they do the gimmicky business? Like, gimmicky it. Give me the gimmick.
It'd be fun to do the set dressing for it, too, because usually their table is kind of laid out with stuff and a little paraphernalia. I don't know. That'd be fun.
Well,
we should do a Foolish Mortals / a Fun Mortals fortune-telling box. We should.
Yeah.
Yellow Shoes, call us.
Go with, like, wooden kind of, like, make it look really old and, like, set in the time, opposed to, like, a nice animatronic. You want that kind of...
Right.
Like a pressed penny machine?
Janky. Yeah.
Yeah, you want it to feel...
Like a digital pressed penny machine?
You want it to have a little antebellum vibe. You know?
Speaking of being old, there's another piece of mansion news, I think. I have to ask, because you're the expert on this, Dallin.
Okay.
There's a new Tortuga Tavern. And
right.
you can't tell me that there's not going to be some Haunted Mansion business in there. It's in some capacity. Dallin, thoughts?
It looks like, okay, so on this Tortuga Tavern area, is this going in the Tortuga Tavern, or is this going where the Pirates League was? Because I still don't know. I've heard both.
Well, you see where that fireplace is?
Yeah.
Right now, back behind where you could order chili dogs or whatever that was across from
the Pirates.
Food, yeah, pirate food, chili dogs and grilled cheese or something like that. There was another room behind that had a fireplace exactly like that was actually part of the Sorcerer's game that you could play, the card game. It was like a hidden little card game in the back, and it was like just seating for the restaurant, and it had a wall dividing it. So I know for a fact that they just blew out all the walls in there and made it one really long room where the quick service was, and turned it into a bar scenario.
Right.
My question is, mansion business gotta be, right?
I mean, like, you can tell based on the way these concept arts pieces have evolved that they have gone from just like a Trader Sam's size little pirate bar to something much bigger, and they maybe even be a full-on restaurant now. But my question to you is this, Dan: would it be part of the Villains Land expansion? Because we are going to get that full connectivity around the former rivers of America. Will it just go like sort of back behind the mansion there to like the left-hand side if you're facing the mansion, or would they maybe take out Rapunzel's tower and do something different there? Where do you think they would put this Haunted Mansion restaurant / bar?
Well, is it the Tortuga Tavern's being built in where the quick service wasn't it? Isn't it?
Yeah. I'm talking about something completely for the Haunted Mansion.
Oh my gosh, we're so in need. We're so in need of something like this. Honestly, just like tear out, or just do it over at the Golden Horseshoe or the Diamond Corral or whatever. No one goes in there.
No,
if you made that a Haunted Mansion thing or whatever, people would be in there 24/7. And you wouldn't need one of those place cards out front that says lunch is available.
Well,
here's
the thing, though. If it's in that area, I think we're going to see a bit of a shift. I have been saying that they're going to truly turn Liberty Square into Sleepy Hollow, and if that's the case, the bar or the tavern from Sleepy Hollow is going to be what they use in that.
That sounds spot. So cool. Like, I'm usually against retheming lands to, IP and doing stuff like that, but Liberty Square into Sleepy Hollow.
But not when it's IP I like.
Yeah, but not when it's cool IP. Not when it's good IP. That sounds so cool.
It's an old book. I know it's based on
right. Ichabod and whatever. But what would you put in the Hall of Presidents in that case then? Because it has to be a show, right? It can't be a ride.
A 4D Sleepy Hollow experience. I want that pumpkin chucked at my head.
I'm always up for more 4D, absolutely. 3D films, whatever, I don't really care. You put the 4 in there, you go up one more D, I'm in.
He's all about the wet.
It's Tough to Be a Bug. Other 4D shows that are present at Walt Disney World, those are the good ones.
Do you think it's because your name starts with a D, so you just have like D like kind of ingrained in your life?
It must be that.
How many D's have you written in your life? Billions.
It's tens of billions at this point, Dan. Every time I
So you
write
love
my name,
4D.
or I might, crying out loud, my YouTube channel is called Offhand Disney. I go to Disneyland and Walt Disney World all the time, so it's just everywhere.
Right, and there's a D in offhand.
Mm-hmm. So that's
So
another.
you're writing a lowercase D and a bigger case
D. Back to back. Each other. Yeah.
Double D's, as we call them.
Exactly.
So. All right, let's go on to my favorite thing we do every year now. It's a tradition, Dallin.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Halloween Haunted Mansion merch. All right, is everybody prepared?
I'm wearing the new Spirit jersey for this.
Oh, yeah, look at that. What's the back look like? Show us.
It's got some hitchhiking ghosts on there. It's got the logo there. And then you got your hitchhikers there on the back.
Nice.
Spirit jersey.
Not
oink.
Oh, it is it's a I see you.
Yes, gotcha. That's a possessed jersey. Great.
What I would say, Dan, is the only thing scarier than these items from Lowe's is how low res the image is, but hopefully it'll work.
This is actually perfect. Here, let's start with Lowe's. Let's start with the Lowe's Haunted Mansion merch collection.
Okay.
Excluding this headless woman who is part of their haunted living line.
I was just about to ask, who is this?
Yeah, not a mansion animatronic. I don't know how they got this past Disney approval to put this in there. That feels like that feels shady business to me.
Yeah.
Knowing how Disney approves these images. But we got a couple new things. So can we roll through what came for this 2024 season? Everything's sold out. It was sold out the minute it debuted. So there's no point. Go to eBay if you want these now. Dallin, animatronic headless knight. Tell me about them.
That's so funny you say that this sold out. I haven't gotten it yet, but I went to my local Lowe's the other day to get a little garden hose to spray out my sprinklers, and this guy stared me right in the eyes as I walked through the door. They had 4 boxes ready to go of this guy, and I should have gotten him. I think I may actually go back and get him.
Dad, how is he not in your videos? He's going to green screen so well
just put
with
him
those
in my
eyes.
Office at this point. I think, Dan, you may have sold me. But yeah,
it's a tax write-off. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I'll put him in a video for 3 seconds, and technically,
you know how cosplayers get blue tulle and they drape themselves in it to make themselves look like Ghost Obi-Wan or whatever. If you blue tulled this guy for camera, he would shine, baby. He would glow.
Shining like a blue light on him, you got yourself a regular Haunted Mansion figure. Now this guy, I think it's interesting. They're selling one of the opera singers, but not the other opera singer. How interesting is that?
It's going to be a collection. It's like Hallmark ornaments. It's going to take 7 years. This is a 10-year Haunted Mansion contract that they built out and sold them. At first, they know exactly what they're doing for the next 10 years. For this thing.
I saw him in motion. I'm surprised. This isn't I would argue higher quality than Spirit Halloween animatronics. Everyone always talks about Spirit Halloween for like their great animatronics, but this is almost ride caliber. It's like 40-50% of the way there, and you could put it in your house. It's really, really good.
It's like,
I don't mean to go
Knott's
off
Berry
topic.
Caliber. For sure.
Yeah, Knott's Berry Farm caliber, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely like your local theme park haunted mansion type caliber. Absolutely. Sure. It's so amazing that that's an accessible thing for like $300 now in the market. You can get an animatronic for your house. It's bananas. We had them with Santas for the longest time, Santas that like did this and stuff, or like the ones with the candles in their hands that did this. But now it's elevated like to new heights that are like unseen. When I was over at HalloweenCostumes.com, they told me like all the secrets about how these things get made. And it's kind of fascinating because the factories in whatever country that they use to manufacture really dictate how these things get made. And it's sort of like a K'NEX kit, or like people who make their own Lego builds using like all of their own, ideas. Just, there's a set amount of things that can happen. Like we have these junctions, these servos, we have these frames, we have these abilities, and then like Apollo 13 style, it gets dumped on a table, and then the developers and the designers back at the whoever's commissioning these animatronics have to like essentially figure out how they're going to dress up and use the mechanics. They send a bunch of sketches back to the factory, and the factory like builds a bunch and sends them off to them to like approve them through a sample process. So the factory like is single-handedly responsible for like implementing everything. They just say, tell us what you want to do. Here's all the parts we have, and we'll do it. It's so cool. Isn't that
really cool.
Amazing.
Yeah. Does Disney have, I'm assuming Disney has final say over every single step
sure,
of this
but it's
process,
the same kind of process, because like they have their own like Skeleton 7 that is a spooky animatronic or a Scarecrow 8, or whatever, that they just make, punch out. They're the only ones who have to approve it. But there's like a 2-week process. They have partners they work with very tightly to be like, all right, here's the designs. They're like, okay, work within this. Actually, if you watch my behind the scenes Disney on Ice video I just did, you can see Donna Oak, the costume designer, kind of really talk about the process of going back and forth with Disney specifically. And everyone gets like their own specific rep that in the design process is like, oh, if you do it this way, or if you change it like this way, Disney's just going to instantly approve it. Like they know how to work the system because they've been doing it so long. So it's awesome. Really cool. Yeah. There are like these like who's Liev Schreiber played the Fixer? Ray Donovan, Ray Donovan, right? Mm-hmm. There's like Disney licensing Ray Donovans that like roam the land, being like, all right, baby, you want to get your stuff approved? I know how to do it. And it's cool. They work for Disney. They just know what Disney wants. It's kind of neat.
That's pretty sweet. Yeah. And that whole video with the costuming, I watched it. I watched it before anybody watched it. Dan sent it to me. It's so interesting seeing all that behind the scenes Halloween costume.
Thanks, man.
The design of it. Dan's officially a model now. Come on, that was.
I know,
great.
Right? I have started a model diet where I just eat whatever I want because I'm a plus size model. So
there you go.
No. I need to get healthier. I'll die like a big dog early.
It's a shortcut to being the 1,000th haunt, Dan. Are you sure?
Yeah, that's right. All right, what's the next piece? What's the next piece we got?
This next piece is, I think, going to be in the haunted howls, the halls of bad Halloween decorations for years to come, and that is a column.
Right, you can buy Haunted Mansion column, Dallin. What are your thoughts on the column?
Can I just rip the plaque off of it and just have that? Why is it? I'm imagining this is probably a thick cardboard.
This is $100 6-foot column, by the way.
It comes with 2 spotlights too. It has the lighting package with it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, column with the cap and the sign. But this is the column that's outside of. This is like the gate column at Disney World.
The Disneyland and Disney World. Yeah, I guess they both are on brick columns. But wouldn't you need 2? You'd have to.
That's the idea. They could have sold a 2-pack for $150, but no, they have a 1 for $100.
And this looks fairly good next to the $300 like headless knight. because it sort of pairs well. I think that's their hope, is that you're like...
I kind of like this, actually. It's interesting. Almost like a museum placard. Like when you're doing your lawn decorations, you can have a Haunted Mansion section with a sign that themes it, because the sign is part of the theming. So it kind of works canonically. It'd be like having a Snoopy collection with like a red Peanuts doghouse with like the logo on the side of it or something.
Right. Like, do we know the material here? Because... It's what, 150? Like, I'm thinking
it's got to be like yard sign. It's got to be
literal
like
brick. You get every single brick. It's 300 pounds.
Yep.
I imagine it's corrugated plastic in that kind of capacity because it has to be rain resistant. It can't be
don't
cardboard.
love it. I got to be honest here. I'm not in love with it.
It's odd.
And it says also, I've noticed as a little Haunted Mansion aficionado, the plaque is not a replica of the one at either park.
No.
It says Disney, the Haunted Mansion. The one at the parks just says the Haunted Mansion.
Well, you got to get the logo on there somewhere.
By the way,
the branding,
it not says the same. It says that it needs to be covered outdoor.
It's not weather resistant.
Indoor or covered outdoor.
Oh.
So it's not even weather resistant.
Yeah, I'm off. I don't want this. Get it out of my sight. Disgusting. I'm sick.
All right, off to the next one.
You know what, though? Let me look at it. I'm looking at it a little closer in a better image. This might actually be a cloth. I think this is
like you stretch it over.
Cloth.
I think it's a stretched cloth.
Wow. Oh, so it's one of those pop-up columns that you see at a convention.
Yep, that's what it is. I'm about 80%
Dallin, look
sure.
at Dallin's face. Dallin looks so disappointed and confused.
For $100?
So betrayed.
For $100, yeah.
No. I'll build my own column out of brick and mortar for probably about the same price, and it'll look way better. It'll be, way
let me
heavier.
See how much a brick is at Lowe's. Can
how
someone
much is
count?
one brick?
Hey, you guys count the bricks in this image. I will look at bricks at Lowe's.
All right, Dan, you counting?
Get back to us. What? I'm not counting anything.
A brick is 90 cents.
It looks to be.
I'm about to say it was a buck.
It looks to be probably 9 bricks a thing. So 9, 8, 12, 6. I'm going to say probably 90 to 130 bricks in there. That's my rough estimate.
So it's about the same price. But you don't get the plaque if you just buy the bricks.
I got the plaque. I have 4 of these at my house. I've just come into contact with people who've given me Haunted Mansion plaques over the years.
But do you have this next thing?
Let's see.
This cemetery Tombstone
shadow box with the hitchhiking ghost.
See, now I'm torn on this one because the demon embossing on the top, that's on the actual Haunted Mansion plaque, by the way, is really cool. I love how he glows. The tombstone itself looks nice. You got the Disney, the Haunted Mansion logo on the bottom. Fine. I don't know about the sculpt of the hitchhiking ghosts, though. This looks a little like it could be a cake pan or something. On it. Yeah.
There's no detailing on it. And what you need to do is like get some black paint. With all of your Haunted Mansion decorations, you get like this. Get some black paint, water it down, wipe it all over all of this stuff. Let it dry for like a minute and a half, and then loosely wipe it off with a paper towel so that all of those details, all of the texture pops, and it will completely change the look. Let's just go buy one of these and do that as a TikTok to show you how to do it.
$30. It's $30.
Okay, not bad at all.
That's affordable.
Yeah.
You should do that.
I think if you did that, solid. For $30, absolutely.
Get the Dallin tongue pop.
you get the click tongue from me.
Yeah,
so it flashes blue light and then plays Grim Grinning Ghosts.
I see. Cool. I do think the lighting is a good touch.
It probably looks better at it's very weird that this is a fully lit image and not a darkened image to showcase the black light.
And also reference the height. It is the height of a candle, half a burnt candle.
Yeah. I love how poorly photoshopped it is into this picture too. They just sort of did a copy paste with a drop shadow behind it.
Yeah, they did it dirty here. One thing I learned cool about HalloweenCostumes.com is that all of their stuff is photoshopped. It's not photoshopped because they do everything on location. I was on location in the midst of it all. It's kind of cool.
You can tell looking at all the promo shots. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. I was amazed. I always thought it was photoshopped until I was there. And I was like, what? Are you kidding me?
I'll give that last tombstone a 6 out of 10.
What about this kitty cat?
Okay.
Now this one, Dan, like you were talking about, it's got that sort of black, sort of
it's distressed.
Aged, distressing in there. This is not a tombstone from the Haunted Mansion. This is part of the Haunted Mansion collection, though?
Yeah, it's from the it's from the Pet Cemetery.
Right? Yeah, no, yeah. I know what you're saying. I don't believe this cat has. I don't think this is a an actual tombstone from the Haunted Mansion, because I know there is
certainly isn't.
There is a cat, but it's not. I don't think it's labeled on a tombstone. It's sort of like a statue of a cat with little birds around it at the Disneyland Pet Cemetery, and then there's the one on the inside with the flashing red light. This is a nice homage to both of those, though, I would say. This is probably my favorite piece so far, minus the Headless Knight, because that was great. But this is solid.
Apparently, on the Wikipedia, it says here that it was near the old wheelchair entrance in the original Pet Cemetery on the west side of the mansion. Cat on a pedestal, Miss Kitty in memoriam, says it all.
Let me find the image. Let's see if I can find an actual image of this.
Yeah, it is. It's here. It's no longer there. Miss Kitty is gone. But you are correct. I'll eat my words on that one. Yeah, this is a deep cut.
In your defense, it's gone. It's gone now.
Right. Or maybe it's in the current pet cemetery that exists on the side of the mansion at Disneyland. There's like a whole secret pet cemetery with an elephant mausoleum and stuff. So she could be over there. But
no doubt the frog is coming next. Bully the frog. So
Bully the frog.
Get ready.
Give me 2 seconds and I'll show you.
I'll give that one like a 7 or an 8. That was pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad.
Let me bring you the original Miss Kitty so everyone can get an idea of what this is.
Nathan's summoning it.
It must be on the side of the mansion, because I just looked at a picture on my phone and it looks like it'd be over there. I've never gotten to go over there yet. I gotta talk to one of my connections at the mansion, because you hardly ever are able to go.
You just have to manifest it, Dallin. Ask and you shall receive. You know.
Here you go. Here is the actual kitty cat.
Here she is.
And
that is.
Yeah, there's that frog.
With that retaining
next
wall
year to
behind
get that frog leaked.
That little.
There's
wall
a bunch of
it.
people in the marketing department now at Lowe's being like, "Crap, they figured us out."
Did that frog
they saw the same
water?
Wikipedia picture we did?
It looks like it may have been designed to spit water, but I mean, there's nobody. Like I said, nobody ever goes over there unless you're like a cast member.
I like the idea that like Pet Cemetery is all like reused pet statues. Like it's just like mishmash together. Like a frog's dead, a cat's dead, whatever. The pedestals all match, but the tokens don't.
Right.
You know? So I like that kind of
Dave,
storytelling.
Dan, what if I said that
Dave.
I know I called you Dave. I called you Dave. I don't know why. I'm tired. I think that Mr. Toad Tombstone will come before Bully.
I would love that. I'd put that in my yard instantly.
I know. I think people would.
We'll see. That's a double license whammy. So
I'm surprised.
We'll see.
Yeah, they didn't do a. There's the skunk one, the skunk tombstone for the Haunted Mansion Pet Cemetery.
I'm sure it's coming. Another Haunted Mansion license holder is Spirit Halloween. Once again, is serving us some Haunted Mansion spookiness. I gathered just a couple collections of stuff that's been with us in previous years, just to get some fresh hot takes on any of these things here, Dallin, because they all look. A lot of this stuff is just old.
Can we have a general conversation about your thoughts, both your gentlemen's thoughts on this year's Spirit offerings in general terms? Are you happy?
It's the same. It's
I think
basic.
I think the highlights for this year that they are putting forward as the highlights are the corpse sprite animatronics. Those are really cool.
Yeah. They've moved on licensing wise.
Yeah, but other than that, you know, it's just more Spirit Halloween. And more Spirit Halloween is fine. I mean, they do a good job and they look fine, but it's just more of the same, you know what I mean? So it's like it's consistent quality.
It feels like the release is like, oh, this didn't make it in from the manufacturer last year and now we got the shipment, and so we're just adding it on to the lineup this year.
I was very disappointed that Spirit didn't latch on to the release of Alien Romulus and release some stuff. There was nothing alien related.
Man, if they had a xenomorph animatronic, that thing would be going in my office.
Because it's all on HalloweenCostumes.com. They had the xenomorph licensing. They have a chest burster costume that's amazing. They have Ripley's blaster, which is incredible. They have like a costume blaster. They have the xenomorph in adult and plus size.
You look
and they
great
had this
in that xenomorph,
crazy
by the way.
They had this replica alien mask from the original mold. From the original Stan Winston mold. It was like crazy. It sold out instantly because the collectors.
So cool.
Dan, if somebody wanted some Alien merch, where could they possibly, what sort of promo code could they use?
They go to HalloweenCostumes.com/Disney. Dad, baby, get 50% off your whole order.
And
just
after you've ordered there, we can go back to Spirit and pick up a couple of these things, I guess, if you want to.
if you want.
So again, all the old stuff, the old tombstones, the old masks, candle holder, placard, they have had all this. They've had all this. Do you like any of this, Dallin? Do you have any of this?
I really like the bust. I think I would probably purchase that bust. That's really nice. I already have a gargoyle. Otherwise, I have 2 gargoyles, actually. Otherwise, I would get that gargoyle. And the tombstones look really good. The good old Fred one looks like it's like a little bit moldy. I know what they were going for with that, but it's like the yellow is kind of off-putting a little bit.
Hey, Dan.
It's definitely off-putting on the plain white.
Did you like when Dallin said he likes a bust?
Nice, Dallin. Good job.
Let me say, this is Foolish Mortals After Dark now at this point.
Oh boy.
Hey, your gargoyle broke. Did you get a new one?
Oh, poor gargoyle. Let me see. I don't, he's still busted, but you know what?
Did you glue him?
He's my busted gargoyle. Or if we're talking about busts while we're here.
Did you glue him?
He fell off my my little display stand, but these, I have 2 of them. His little arm is busted right there, but that's it.
Oh, I see.
These are the expensive. These are the expensive ones from Disney.
Wow,
though.
so you can see the cords in the arms. Cool.
Yeah,
he's like
busted.
He's like Terminator gargoyle.
He's like half machine, half gargoyle.
Give him one glowing red eye, and it'll kind of tell a story.
Oh, and one of his candles is out. This shows how well I take care of my props, by the way, in case you wanted to know.
No. You're an actor. You're a theater kid.
Yeah, I'm
theater
not the prop master. I'm the one
prop destroyers.
Act. Yeah, exactly.
Theater kids destroy props like it's their freaking job. It's bananas. As someone who's made a lot of props in my day, the most destructive humans on earth are kids acting.
Acting children.
Oh my god.
See, now, I think what we're seeing here is Foolish Mortals. Hey, I think Spirit Halloween really excels with their indoor decorations. Like, I think they
have a whole collection, like a dining room collection.
The Haunted Mansion candle holders, I got to get my hand on those for sure.
Yeah, no, those are definitely votive holders. They're not shot glass. If you took a shot out of that, it'd be weird. Your mouth would feel weird.
Where else am I going to find officially licensed Haunted Mansion shot glasses, Dan? I have to make do.
You have to look for not candle holders. You have to look for toothpick holders. Dude.
Yep.
Food grade. It's got to be food grade. This is not. You don't want to get lead poisoning from drinking out of these.
Right.
So or whatever chemical is treated to make it glow like that.
So I do want to point out that the light up mantle scarf looks cool. Looks great. Is that bust that we saw previously on that mantle? Because if so, again. Yeah. Love a high quality bust.
He loves a high quality bust.
Yeah.
And speaking of high quality bust, adult tightrope walker costume.
You know what, Dan? I was going to try not to objectify Sally Slater there, but I mean, since you've already done it, costume looks very, very well, very high quality.
Nice.
You can't see it's a potato quality photo. It's like 3 pixels. You can't see if there's cleavage or not. It's a family friendly joke.
Yeah, I can't see it.
Does it come with the parasol is my question.
Absolutely.
That is a solid costume. I would say, I think her skirt is a little longer in the actual mansion. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But
it's as sexy as it's going to get.
The sexy lady version
I think they yassified Sally Slater from the Haunted Mansion.
But also, why isn't her name on the listing, guys?
I think that's like something like it's like a fan. No, it is longer. That is a shortened version of her skirt. Yeah. But yeah, it's like it started as like fans naming the hitchhiking ghosts Phineas, Ezra, and Gus, and that just became their official names. So it's Sally Slater and the Alligator, and I guess Spirit Halloween hasn't caught up to that yet.
Gotcha.
I think that this is a classic example, though, of an outfit that someone will wear and love, and they're going to go to a common people's party, and they're going to be like, "What?
What are you dressed up at? Yeah.
What are you dressed up as?"
And you know what? If they ask you that question, they don't deserve to know.
I agree.
I
firmly understand that position.
No, guys, I really think that if Spirit Halloween has an officially licensed costume of it, people know what it is. Enough people know. Enough people know now.
Yeah, this is going to be a conversation for after we're done talking about the whole merchandising thing.
Why wait, buddy? What about our podcast says to you? Wait about
Dan. What effect have you and I and other YouTube people in the YouTube sphere had? Like, this is not because of the success of the new film, because the new film failed spectacularly. People didn't like it. Do you think this resurgence of Disney licensing out the Haunted Mansion and really capitalizing on the Haunted Mansion, opening a Haunted Mansion lounge for crying out loud on a cruise ship, how much of that is the community banding together and making this ride more known in the cultural zeitgeist of just being
absolutely. Spooky. Well, it's also kind of interesting because it's one of those original properties that Disney has that they're running out of, like that are stuck around essentially. That is a park exclusive kind of property in the way that Figment is and the way that Pirates is. So it has that like really long lasting association of brand. So it's really powerful. It's just really powerful. Yeah. And so that has left a lot of nostalgia for it that we have been able to mine as content creators in a theme park niche that have kind of reignited that kind of. It reminded everybody, oh yeah, we could be selling merch. The fact that offhand Disney has a old Jean Lafitte's shirt means that we could get this. Yeah, we could make a sign or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they know, they definitely know. The fact that there's 20,000 League merch now, and the fact that there's like all of it. You know, it's crazy.
They're definitely going for that. The greater community has since wisened up, and now it's only a matter of time before we get some official Living with the Land merchandise. I'm working night and day, Dan. I'm seeing that wait time go longer than Soarin' sometimes, so it's working.
I did my part, sir. I did my part. Yeah. Hey, did you have one of those 3D printed ones you've seen on Instagram?
Of the boat?
Of the Living with the Land ride. It's like a little carousel. In like a transparent dome.
No, but I need it.
You have to send me. I'll send you the link. I'll send you the link. Yeah. Hopefully, maybe they'll sponsor the podcast.
I feel so bad for everyone who was in that video of riding Living with the Land because all the comments under that video, every single one of them was, "Why didn't you get offhanded? Where's Dallin? Where's offhand?" Like I was like, "It's okay. It's fine. I wasn't able to make it, but man, that was a good time."
I missed you. I thought about you the entire time.
I was there in spirit, though. I think I was photoshopped in, right? For a certain part of that video, I believe I was.
Yeah, you were definitely in there.
I was
Speaking of spirit, there's one more slide of Haunted Mansion old stuff.
Let's see it.
There you go.
Okay, so it's right away I've noticed that Constance is, her skirt length is appropriate. Not appropriate,
and she's like also named
evangelical way, but just like in an attraction way, in an attraction accurate way.
An attraction like sexual attraction or like ride attraction?
The ride attraction. Disney doesn't call them rides. Disney, you're not actually not allowed to call them rides at Disney.
Right.
But this
is attracted to them?
They attract people.
Yeah.
Oh, they attract people.
This is old school Hatchaway though. This is
Red Beating Heart.
Right. This is actually pretty close to, because
I think it's Paris.
This is very close to the walk around character that they have for Constance. I don't know if you've ever gotten to meet her, but that's actually pretty dang close to what you would see in the parks. Like that's close. Solid.
Yeah, and the Beating Red Heart's very iconic. It's interesting how with licensing they lean into like the classic looks of characters that they have long since abandoned in storytelling.
Dan, if we're
people know what this is, if we do it like this, it's like, okay, why don't you apply that to how you make theme park things?
Right. Yeah, it's interesting. And I'm sure this costume translates a lot easier than Sally because it's just like, it's a ghost bride. If you don't know about Constance specifically, you know she's a ghost bride, but if you do know about Constance, then it's like, oh, we got a Morthole over here.
Got a Morthole. Do you have those sing and bust magnets?
No, I thought those were a second, because just the bottom of those magnets, I thought they were chip clips, honestly, for a second. They looked like chip clips to me. For like
coming next year.
Yeah.
Yes. They're listening. Don't think they're not listening, down.
Oh, I would buy the whole pack. Those magnets I absolutely love. They would go on my fridge right next to my AP magnets. I'm very curious about this door knocker down here for $50.
Yeah.
It's they can't get over this plaque. They love the plaque.
What you're saying is that you love the busts and the knockers.
You said it, not me.
And that's the clip for social. Thank you very much.
There we go. But no, I'm wondering because I don't see how that would work. It just looks like something you'd put on the door and then it glows.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a door knocker in the same way it is in Christmas Carol when Scrooge gets haunted by the thing on his door.
Right. It doesn't
not necessarily
there's
like
no
a
noise
banger.
It's it's going to be an infrared light thing at the bottom there, I think.
Sure.
That's going to.
And there's also a version of door knockers that's just like that is where that you would knock is like on that brass plate, not the door itself, but you're going to get that louder echo if you knock on the piece of metal on their wood. So
and I think right next to that the old woman ghost sign. I'm assuming that's not a lenticular. It does not shift.
No, I don't think so.
That's an untapped market. Just release full-size lenticular shifting, like changing portraits.
Lenticular printing's my kryptonite, bro. It's
Dude,
my number one thing
like
that I hate.
But how else would you They could sell the full effect with the 2 scrims and the changing lights. But
you know how else they do it? They do it like 90s holographic style. They do it like that. You know how they print entire photos that are like have entire depth stories, and it's just like holographic and cool. You know do that. No, none of that business.
Are you talking Magic Eye? What are you talking
No,
about?
not Magic Eye. You know what I'm talking like they're like Pogs had them. Like they like kind of like you could kind of like
yes.
it was a flat sticker but it had depth. It had like it was like an illusion.
I know some of this stuff too, like the magnets. I've seen those magnets in the parks. Like some of this stuff is
There's a version of them.
Yeah. Okay. So I didn't know if they were different magnets or
Yeah, it's a version. These are like obnoxious bright blue. And like the ones in the parks I think are more like stone looking.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then that lantern there, I absolutely despise because the lantern itself is cool, but it's that damn art style from a couple of years ago that they couldn't get over, where everything has to be bright and chibi and
Talon doesn't like because he said a swear.
I did a swear, but I can't stand. That's why I got the Spirit jerseys, because they're finally sort of transitioning back to
you're supporting the lines of merchandise that use the versions of the characters you like.
I don't want a cute Hbox Ghost. I don't want a cute mummy.
Them.
I want the mummy from the ride. I want the Hbox Ghost from the ride. And so that lantern style is just a remnant of that whole line that they did, and I really did not like it.
We should
I caught 4...
Oh, I was going to say, we should make note here that this is all the stuff of the old stuff, but even in the new stuff, there is no Hbox Ghost. Like, whatever the push was post or pre-movie to make this guy like something to sell is gone.
They Game of Thrones Hbox Ghost, all right? They they D and B'd it or whatever those guys were. Like they rolled in, they had the book. They talked to the guy who like invented the thing. Right. They knew what they needed to do, and then they just walked in and they pooped on it. They took a dirty poop on it, and everyone forgot about it overnight. It's like all those idiots who got Khaleesi tattoos. You know what I mean? It became a great disgrace. It became a huge dishonor. It used to be this great, beautiful thing that everyone is like. And Imagineering, they had this cool, transparent animatronic that they couldn't figure out, but then they did figure out because that was the great renaissance of Imagineering robots, and we did it, and now we got it in Florida, and it sucks, and everyone hates it.
It's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yep. Right? It's just, and I just went on it. The thing's less than a year old. I just went on with my kids. It's like, kids, guess what? They put a new thing. They put a new robot in Haunted Mansion. They're like, hooray! And then it was broken. Didn't work. Didn't work.
Every time I ride past that Hbox Ghost in my Doom buggy, I get angry. I get mad at Disney.
Yeah.
It's
just one of the most... Yeah.
I mean, when they first announced it, we're talking about this now. When they first announced it, Dan, you were immediately, this is bad. This is a bad idea. And I said, whoa, Dan,
was Twitter villain of the week, not day.
I said, Dan, hold on. Let's take a second here. Let's take a breath, and we'll see how it is. And I rode the ride with him in there for the first time, and I said, oh my God, Dan, it was completely correct. This is very, very bad.
And just to really put the extra poop schmear on the top of the cake, they like said Jared Leto. Let's add that on top of it.
Dan, I'm a tortured Disney fan because it seems like Jared Leto is following me around, actively taking the properties that I love and and Leto-fying them, because he did the Haunted Mansion. I love the Haunted Mansion. Haunted Mansion movie, you got Jared Leto. I am the biggest Tron fan. Tron Legacy specifically. I love Tron. And then Jared Leto,
your favorite Batman villain?
Jared Leto has to walk in the room.
Yeah,
my favorite Batman villain, Michael Morbius.
Dr. Michael Morbius, please. He didn't go to school for you to just call him Michael.
What about the Joker? I was setting up a Joker. Wasn't he the Joker?
Jared Leto? Oh, yeah. He was the worst Joker.
Oh, my God. Yeah. I totally forgot. He's been so bad in so much.
Everything he touches turns terrible, and
except for Blade Runner.
It's so funny. He's good in Blade Runner. Everything that you're a fan of.
He's good in Blade Runner. But
so when we get the Living with the Land movie, or the People Mover film.
You're like a character in Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. There's a character in those books that everywhere he goes, it's always raining. He's the unluckiest man alive. He has no enchantments or anything. He's not magical, but just statistically, he is the human that ended up living the timeline that everywhere he goes, it rains.
Everywhere I go,
businesses start paying him to stay away from their properties, and that's how he ends up making a living, is staying away from resort destinations, promising he won't go. And and you're kind of the same thing. So if you don't want Jared Leto in your properties, immediately DM Dallin and tell him to stay away from your beloved franchises. He may taint and curse them.
If you're trying to keep Jared Leto away, let me know, and I will definitely start liking, something else.
Go some other direction. Yeah,
exactly.
Steer Dallin away from the most beloved brands.
The Rob McKenna of whatchamacallit, Jared Leto.
Yeah.
Can't wait for the Disneyland People Mover to reopen with Jared Leto as its narrator.
Oh no, it'll never happen.
Let's go to new stuff.
I think I spotted 4 new things. At least they were new to me. You know what I mean? Like those secondhand stores, new to me. And so the first one was this Leota skull thing. The tabletop skull.
Yes.
For $21.99.
Is this not Spirit? I feel like I saw this somewhere. Maybe not at Spirit.
This is Spirit. This is a Spirit
These are the new
Haunted
ones.
Mansion tabletop skull. You can see it has the name on it across the top of the head, and it has that all-seeing third eye. It looks like it also opens.
Yeah. Now this solid. I really like this, and I remember because I saw it at a store. I picked it up. That thing is weighty too, and I like a good weighty prop. So
something to attack a home intruder, you're saying?
Exactly. If you need to, if someone's in your house, you could take the scalp off of this skull, frisbee at him, hit him there, and then throw the rest of the skull. Hit him.
Have
like
Marv
that villain in
with a
Austin
haunted,
Powers.
Yeah, you have Marv will have a haunted mansion thing across his head.
Exactly.
For the rest of the movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure you heat it up before you throw it.
Yeah. I think I love this. It looks. The only thing is, it's obviously not supposed to be a real skull because it's oxidized. It looks like it was a metal skull to begin with, and then it's just sort of aged.
It's a token.
With the patina.
It's like a token.
Yeah, but it looks
totem.
Great. I like it.
I think the teeth in the bottom are kind of weird. There's like fake teeth.
You don't got teeth?
Not in my skull.
Because you have the roots there, then you have the teeth underneath it.
There's no chin. It's
there's no lower what would we call a mandible or a jawbone. Yeah, that's only the top half of the skull. You don't get the bottom half.
I'm glad we included in the screenshot here. The first bullet point, officially licensed. That's my favorite thing. The first bullet point of product features, officially licensed.
Don't worry, guys. Disney gave us this. Ken Anderson, actually. We contacted Claude Coates through a Ouija board. I asked him if we could sell this at Target. He said, "What's Target?" And then he agreed.
Designed this through. He possessed an elephant, and an elephant painted it.
An elephant. Not even just a
elephant
person.
Painting? Yeah. Elephants paint. I learned that recently.
I mean, humans do too, Dan. It's you took the extra step, but I appreciate it.
But I think elephants are easier for human spirits to possess. I think that's pretty well known.
Similar brain activity, yeah.
Yeah, Disney, the Haunted Mansion Serpent sign. Dallin, what do you think of this?
What's this new logo, too, by the way?
It looks like KM to me, but I know it's obviously Haunted. Is this? No, this is a different one, a different logo I got on this one. But this is very curious to me because it looks like some designer went absolutely bananas because these, Dan and Nathan, are the door handles for the doors in the corridor of doors. They're usually shaken or wibbly wobbly.
I knew you would know what these were.
Why are they all together on a pendant? That's kind of strange.
Well, here's something I just recently learned on Reddit. Somebody posted a photo of a bunch of serpents all in a ball outside of their house.
Yeah.
And they're like, what's going on with this ball of serpents? And everyone's like, oh, they're having sex.
Yeah.
And so now I see this and I'm like, hey, honey, do you want to pick up the broad sex serpent?
The orgy?
Is this
door
the first
sign?
Is this the first piece of official Disney merchandise that depicts a sexual act, Dan? This is groundbreaking. We need a corner of the market on these and start reselling them. This is going to be a collector's item someday.
Oh no, I can't believe that's just happened. Oh my gosh.
Hey, you said it. I mean, it's they're in a ball.
I almost fell off my chair.
You kind of want to know what's going on now behind the logo.
Right, yeah. If we could remove the logo, the things we would see and the things we would learn.
The horrors.
I like to imagine the guy that designed this also saw that on Reddit like a few weeks ago when I did, like right at the same time as these landed in stores. And he's like, do you think no one will know? No one will know.
This is a bad logo, by the way.
Is that a lantern in the middle?
Yes. It's the top of the mansion.
Can you zoom it? Can you enhance?
No. I don't think I can.
It's the top of the
CSI enhance it.
Mansion.
How would I do? Isn't it like the
Oh, is that what it is?
I think so. Isn't
That's what he's saying.
I mean, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, it's like that little spire thing.
It kind of just looks like a lantern to me. Zoom in, expand.
Here, let me see if I can get it as a bit better image. Let me get the
Spirit's
image by
tricky.
itself.
They don't let you save images from
No,
their
it's
website.
like a street light. Yeah, it's like... What it reminds me of personally is I think there's a lantern attached to the hearse in front of the Disneyland mansion. That's what it kind of looks like, but I don't even know about that at that point. Interesting.
All right, I'm working on the logo here. Here, you guys go to the next one while I work to find the logo.
All right, let's see what we have here.
This is I'm excited about this one because you didn't like the previous votive holder, four-walled votive holder, so I want to know what your hot takes on this. The Madame Leota four-sided votive holder from Disney's The Haunted Mansion.
Better. Certainly better. It's an improvement. I still personally wouldn't put it in my on my Haunted Mansion shelf, but I do like it more. It's still a bit too bright for me. Maybe with the lights off and it lit, maybe it would look better.
Yeah, it's almost Tower of Terror, like bronze in a way.
Yeah.
It's not like the Haunted Mansion, like oil rub bronze. It's like the Tower of Terror, polished bronze.
It's giving more like a 1900, like early 1900s, like Hollywood style instead of.
Yeah. I mean, the Memento Mori, I guess that
I do like the tarot card back to it.
I guess this would oddly fit in weirdly with the building that they're putting together out front of the Disneyland Haunted Mansion.
It could. It's fine. I think this is definitely like a 5 out of 10, middle of the road. I don't hate it. I don't love it.
It's BOGO.
Solid. Yeah.
50% off if you buy one.
There you go. BOGO.
You get one. $25. $24.99.
So now you can have two votive holders.
Can we look at the wreath, Nathan?
Yeah, 1 second. Here's the wreath.
Wreath time. Okay.
Light up. Join us if you dare. Wreath. Now, I think this is new because they had a couple other wreaths that I've seen previously. There's like a purple one. There's like a hitchhiking ghost one that's like backlit. But this one looks new and spooky. Have you seen this?
I haven't. And it looks like... Man, I think the cobwebs are a really cool touch. I think if they would have made the flowers just regular flower colors instead of green, it would have looked a little bit better. But those cobwebs, I think, really help
there is
sell
like
it.
the Spirit decision to go very campy and bright with the Spirit colors. All the blues and like teal greens instead of like a more grounded color. Like they're trying to force the black light illusion on you in regular light. And we know, because we are big fans of the mansion, what all these things look like with the lights on.
Right. And I think it's interesting they chose 1313 as the address, because that is not the address of the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland.
That's the address of Disneyland, isn't it? Or
1313, yes. I think it is South Harbor Boulevard.
Yeah, 1313.
Disneyland's address.
Yeah. So that's bananas that Disneyland and Haunted Mansion have the same address. I'm sure if somebody wanted to put together some Illuminati video, that'd be a good piece of information to have.
Yeah, and then in the actual New Orleans Square, all of the buildings have addresses. So like Club 33 is 33 Royal Street. I think the Royal Street Veranda is 13. I don't know which one the Haunted Mansion is. I
love how that is the official, if you ask a cast member, that's the official story about why it's called Club 33.
Yeah.
They're like, well, when they built the street, 33 was just like the number of the street.
Address. It makes sense. That's why it says 33.
Has nothing to do with the 33 active sponsors that were in the park at the time, that the private lounge for sponsors only that existed for at least a year before they opened the doors up to the public. But like, it's so interesting that the Walt revisionist story is, it just lined up that way. And if you want a liquor license in California, you need to have an official address because this isn't in Disney, Yeah,
it's a separate address. Yeah.
Here's the logo in high resolution, by the way, as best we could.
All right,
get
what
it.
is it?
So
interesting. It is. It's like although that feels like there's trying to be the lantern at the top of the house.
Yeah,
that's a bat on it.
At the top of the Orlando mansion, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I'll believe you. Yeah. I'll take your word for it.
There's a lot of brand inconsistency with the mansion logo. Like, it's been all over the place lately.
Mm-hmm.
And all of the logos are completely, like, this one I have is completely different. But I think there is no lantern at the top of the mansion in Orlando. I knew you guys were gaslighting me.
Really?
Yeah, it's a weather vane. It's with a bat on it.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of. But it has the bat on it,
Well,
right?
this has a bat on it.
The weather vane has the bat on it. Yeah.
The weather vane has a bat.
That's what threw me. So this is nothing.
You would be forgiven. Yeah.
This is a thing. This is two things smushed.
Yeah, but there's no lantern on the top of there's a weather vane on top of the Disneyland one too.
Mm-hmm. So one's got a pirate ship on it though.
Yeah, but I think Dallin's onto something, that it's the coffin.
The hearse?
The hearse.
I think honestly, I don't even think they thought that far ahead as we're thinking when they designed that logo.
They just needed to cover the genitalia of snakes.
Exactly. And that's all, and it did its job. I think it did its job well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like, this is hot, and we gotta cover this up.
We do not want these children walking in, seeing this.
No, the lantern on the hearse is more ornate.
Yeah, I don't. That's why I said that. Yeah, because it doesn't look like any lantern I would see at the Haunted Mansion. Mm-hmm. So maybe the caretaker's lantern that he's holding, maybe, but
weird.
Interesting.
It's the only. Keep this in mind, because this might be the last time you ever see this logo. This could be a rare, sex orgy.
Another collector's piece. Yeah,
it's a Panic logo. It's like a Panic logo.
You're gonna find this at the Lakeland Antique Mall for $150. And
it's less of a logo and more of just a very ornate sensor, like black sensor bar sort of.
Oh,
thing.
there you go. Yeah. There you go.
Well, to round out the episode, Dallin just did some traveling, and we can finally do our official Foolish Tiana's
Foolish Bayou adventure.
The Foolish Bayou. Dallin, what are your hot takes? Give us your quick takes.
Oh man, I think my hot takes are: if you ever make a video on Tiana's Bayou Adventure, just turn the comments off. Just turn them off. Save yourself the problem. Save yourself the
Bro,
the
I have a video of Tiana's animatronic broken the first time I wrote it, and I put it up showing like these incredibly long pauses, and also Mama Odie's animatronic was just locked. Just wasn't moving. And it's how it was for I think it still is like that. When it's not doing something, it just has a very weird static position where it just looks like a robot waiting to move, it's very illusion breaking. Yeah,
you must have gotten a bad run, because it didn't happen to me.
The amount of people calling me a racist for just pointing out animatronics acting weird, you know what I mean?
Right.
And it is so funny, man. The amount of people
calling me a brainwashed liberal and also a racist in the same comments section is crazy. But no, Tiana's Bayou Adventure, solid ride. I'd say probably, like I said, my grading scale is different from a lot of people. Usually 5 is like bad or failing. 5 is middle of the road, fine, totally passable for me. So 5, I'd probably give Tiana's maybe a 7.5.
Yeah,
if the Haunted Mansion is
right
a 10, I'd give Tiana's maybe a 7.5.
Well, what'd you give Splash Mountain?
It's a log flume.
I'd give Splash Mountain, Disneyland Splash Mountain, in my memory, probably a 6, lower than Tiana's, because that ride was 60% in the dark and not operational when it closed. It was all broken.
Disneyland Splash, and ironically, I think it will become the better Splash Mountain on the other side of this.
And as I was about to say, I think Tiana's was really, the animatronics, everything went perfectly for me. I had some complaints because Disney World Splash Mountain and Tiana's, now by extension, is more spread out. It's a longer version of the same ride, and there's just a lot of dead space. And one thing that really just got my goose in that ride, Dan, is they built a stupid fence for some reason behind some of the vegetation during like a turn around the outside where you used to be able to look out over Frontierland and Liberty Square and the whole park, and there's a fence there now. They just block that
right
view
before you go up the incline before you see Tiana.
For no reason. Like, why would you close off that
just
sight
to put a
line?
bunch of art or something?
It's awful. But other than that, the actual ride experience itself, other than maybe 3 times where I noticed it's a lot of dead space, where back before it was all lively, full of animatronics, all of the scenes were really good except for the screen with Giant Tiana. Everything else was great.
Yeah, Giant Tiana screen, it was also one of my complaints because it feels like they doubled back on what they did with the aerial ride, which was to make CGI versions of the animatronics for in-ride screens, but despite the fact that the animatronics are based off of a 2D animation. So they doubled back with the aerial ride, the Under the Sea ride, and now all of the screens depicting Ariel are 2D animation Ariel now, but they had originally, they were like weird CGI. You know, it's like seeing The Simpsons in CGI. Right. It's just like weird. It's not right.
Would you prefer, just like the old 2D animation style Tiana and Lewis, just sort of?
Absolutely, because that's what the animatronics look like. They look like those cartoon characters. They look really good. And then they're like, okay, great, now let's make CG versions of them.
And if I have any complaint about the ride, the animatronics are not one of them, because the animatronics, like you were talking about how they had a weird idle phase. I didn't get that for whatever reason, so it seems pretty it seems inconsistent, which is a complaint in of itself. But when animatronics were great, all of them, every single one of them were fantastic for me.
Yeah, it was a really fun ride. I really enjoyed it. All things considered, I really liked it.
I actually got jump scared on the ride, too. I know where it happens now, so I won't be jump scared ever again. But remember when they were talking about making fog a character, Dan, and we did a whole Foolish Worlds episode on just the fog being a character?
The mist being a character.
Good God. It doesn't translate. Listen, it doesn't translate very well on that final lift hill. It's just like, oh, this looks nice. But when you drop into the former Lap in Place scene, when you get shrunk down, and it just goes, cool effect. Boom, and it like strobes you with some fog and some lights. I was like, oh my God. So I think that actually
what do you rate
like
the Techno Mist? Where would you put the Techno Mist now?
Are we talking Techno Mist as a whole use in the attraction, or just that? You have to
give it an overall score. This is the Oscar rules. You know, there's no like subdivisions on Best Picture.
6, because if you're talking about just the final lift hill, it's like, wow, this looks pretty cool. That's fun. It's not a character, but that first drop in when you're getting shrunk down, that is a character, and that looks really cool. Did you
ride daytime or nighttime?
Daytime. Yeah.
I think I also rode daytime, and if it was nighttime, I think you would give the Techno Mist a 10 out of 10. But the fact that the lift hill has spillover light, it just makes it look stupid. It looks stupid.
Can someone explain to me how it's any different than the fog and laser used in Dinosaur? Oh, okay.
It's colorful. Oh, it's got colors this time.
Oh, okay.
All right. It's square instead of round or whatever. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. I think. Yeah. It's like God rays, but I think
God rays.
I remember. Well, that's what it's called in like video games when you can see like the light shining through. It's. I think it's funny that Disney announced when they announced that this Tiana's would be opening with a virtual queue. They're like, guys, don't worry. It's only going to be for a very, very short time when we first open the ride, and we're how many months in, and we still got a virtual queue. Come on, Disney. What are we doing here?
Yeah, it's definitely it feels like a crowd control thing through the new year.
Well, that's why they dropped it for Tron.
Speaking of queues, the queue for this ride, I think, is a vast improvement over Splash Mountain. I think the queue
it's
for
so much fun.
is really, really cool. And I walked into that. You can tell it's Splash Mountain painted over. But when you go down underground into that salt dome, the little veins of salt on the wall, it's so cool.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
And Nathan, they have a whole original radio station with like a whole hour of content that loops that you feel like you're listening to real by your radio, which is really, really fun.
It's awesome. The shame of running a semi-popular themed audio YouTube channel is that they release some of this stuff and then you can't use any of it because they immediately clock it down so no one gets to share it or have any fun with it. But also for this stuff, because they're original, they're original tunes, right?
I think they're actually just actual songs. They might be. There might be a couple because there's like a Going Down the Bayou cover.
There are some.
They're covers. Almost their cover. They're fun. Then weird new things.
Interspliced in there is like actual jazz songs from like the 30s. Cool. So it's a little bit of both. Yeah.
Did they do? I think the instrumentals are only out in the barn section. And then inside it's
in the outdoor queue, and then as you go through the barn, I think the radio
cuts in. Oh,
they have big megaphones all over and like they're all wired like old school.
Yeah.
Like you can see the wire that connects. Like
the outdoor queue is
fun.
No complaints for me. Needs more shade, but like the theming of the outdoor queue is amazing. Like I said, vast improvement over Splash Mountain when it comes to the queue.
Really,
I think.
really fun.
I do miss, however, being able to sort of peek in on that last scene as you come around that bend where you used to see Brer Rabbit, where now you would see Mama Odie. That used to be open, so you could see it from the queue, but that's closed off now.
Yeah, you got to hide that Mama Odie. Got to close up that beignet stink. Got to contain.
I don't know about stink, Dan. That got me hankering for some beignets
stink
afterwards.
Isn't necessarily a bad word.
Aroma?
Right? I grew up watching Real Monsters, where stench
you
and
talking about stink, or you talking about stank with an A?
Yeah.
Stank with an A.
Stank with an A.
Agatha all along. Are you watching?
Me and my wife are watching it, and my wife is absolutely loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. We're having a great time.
Man, we were spooky. It was our first Foolish Mortals live when we did a WandaVision.
Mortal Vision. I remember that.
Mortal Vision, yeah.
Dang.
I love this new show. Nathan, are you watching? Are you witchy?
No, I don't care at all about Marvel anymore. I'm very tired.
I was there too. I was there for a second, and then Deadpool and Wolverine brought me back, and Agatha is actually really, really good.
I have
It's a delight.
I don't think I have any qualms with it. I just need a break. Because I feel like what's the new movie coming out? The
Thunderbolts?
Thunderbolts. I kept saying Thunderbirds. Yeah. I'm like, no, that's a totally different thing. I want to be ready for that because I actually think it looks fun, and I just need to I need to get off the train.
You need a detox for a while.
I gotta detox, and it ain't going anywhere unless you're Willow. You're fine over there at Disney
You're
Plus.
not going anywhere unless it's Willow.
Yeah, so I'll get to it.
All right.
Yeah, love Catherine Hahn.
I'm really loving it. What I love about the original series was its playfulness with genre, like how it took us through all of the ages of television and gave us different kinds of storytelling devices. And the new show brilliantly carries that through. Like
it's doing it in a certain way. Yeah, it's going through different
every episode's
eras,
different and completely recostumed and it tells a completely different story. It's so interesting.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of obsessed almost with the Wizard of Oz of it all. It's so full of Wizard of Oz nods and references that you can't that you stumble over them as you go through them, but they're in not a bad way, in a way that's like,
it's a big year for Wizard of Oz fans. Let me just say that.
Big year. Big year. Yeah.
And even I was one of the naysayers. I was one of the haters before I started watching this show. I said, why does Agatha need a show? Why does everybody need their own show? I was absolutely proven wrong with this, and I'll eat my words, which makes me more excited for the Vision show coming up, because I was also, who cares? Why does Vision need his own show? But if it's going to be the conclusion of the Westview trilogy, it's so far so great. So
yeah, what's your prediction? Who is Teen?
I have my predictions. I just don't know how it would work out. I think Teen would be a Maximoff, right? He'd be the Maximoff boy, one of the Maximoff boys.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking is going to happen too, right?
And then, because in the comics he's called Wiccan, which is an interesting name, but he's got the blue magic instead of his mom's red magic, and then his brother has the Quicksilver super speed. But I'm hoping we get a little Doctor Strange in here maybe at the end. Maybe a Mephisto thrown in there. Maybe.
I'm hoping. Mephisto's coming to Fortnite, like literally this weekend.
No way. Shaq and Mephisto in the same weekend? I'm in.
Down. Can we get you in, man? Can we get you in?
I logged in the other day. I got my Incredible skins. I got all three of them. I have my Jack Skellington already. I have my Jack Sparrow. I think that's all of the...
We got to stream together, you and me, Fortniting. We got to do it.
I think that's all of the Disney skins that are in the game right now, though. Like, because you can't...
Don't forget Tron.
Oh, Tron is in there, yeah. And I could not
There's
forget
like
Tron.
8 of them. I got one. I got the one that looks like Olivia Wilde.
Okay, I got the dude one. And I got the Light Cycle and the disc. I'm hoping we get more Disney characters in Fortnite, honestly, considering Disney owns like
there's a huge villains
8% of the company now. Yeah.
10%, I think. It's 10%.
Okay.
And villains, Jafar, Maleficent, and Cruella de Vil are coming in this month.
So we're getting Jafar with the gun. Are we ever gonna get Elsa with the gatekeeper shotgun, Dan? Do you think that's ever gonna happen, or do you think they draw the line at the princesses?
Well, they're investing heavily in the Lego and beans, in the Fall Guy beans, and so that's where like there's already a Fall Guy Stitch, so you're gonna see them investing the Disney properties that are more fun and playful into their Fall Boys, their Rocket League skins or cars, and their Lego products, and then guns, shoot 'em up. It's interesting though because Elsa was a character in Disney Infinity, and Disney Infinity opened you up to using flintlock pistols, ray guns,
Elsa's had
like
a gun
bunch
before.
Of different stuff. Elsa has held a gun.
I don't think she's killed anybody, maybe indirectly, but she definitely. I mean. Think of all the.
Oh my gosh, that's a good video to do.
Skin. She's the princess with the highest kill count in the movie. Why don't we have a Mulan?
I'm gonna make a video. Everyone's watching the seed get planted right now, but I'm gonna do a video. I'm gonna have to be creative because YouTube does not like when you talk about it. But Disney characters, princess. Disney characters with pew pews, and it'll be a whole episode talking about what line Disney.
Yeah.
They like to use crossbows in these movies now, but it's,
big crossbows, big fans of crossbows.
I'll be getting all those villain skins, and if Disney decides to put out even more, give us a Chernabog.
Oh, more's coming. It's coming.
Give us a Hbox Ghost so we can have SMG Hbox Ghosts, and let's see it.
Woo. Oh my goodness. Hey, every episode we close it out by talking about what we're doing for fun. What's something fun we're up to, what we're having fun with. And I got to say, I'm having a ton of fun with the Rings of Power, the Lord of the Rings show on Amazon. It came back strong, baby. And it is a banger. It's a banger.
I was on the fence with that show I watched maybe the first 2 or 3 episodes of the first season, and I said, I'll just rewatch the movie trilogy. This isn't for me. But I've been hearing really good things about it. So I was a hater, but I am definitely going to give that another try because it looks really, really good.
There's a little bit of like Harry Potter turning it into a series of it all, where people don't understand how that's really going to change the way the story's told, because timelines and like pacing is very different when you're trying to tell an entire year over 7 episodes, or when you're trying to tell like 100 years over 7 episodes.
Lord of the Rings is like hundreds of years.
Yeah, so there's lots of like kind of hand-washiness about that. But when you look at the original movies, there was a lot of that too. Like Gandalf would be here and then here at the same time. So I mean, whatever. You have to. It's the medium. You have to like acknowledge that the medium has to have, and also they don't have rights to the Silmarillion. So they only have rights to the stories, the unfinished tales. And so they have to be creative. But man, oh my gosh, the Moria stuff is great. The Eregion stuff, the rings. I hear the
dwarves are like Sauron, the best part of the show.
The way that they portray Sauron's power is really, really well done. It really makes you understand how much of a threat he is.
Lord of the Rings
that
fans
the original
also,
movies didn't do.
Are really eating this year too, because we also have another movie coming out.
Yeah.
The War of the Rohirrim. It's It's animated.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who asked for that. I saw the trailer for that and I was like, I don't know who wants this.
You know what? I got unlimited Regal. I'll go, probably.
And it's Peter Jackson, so they have all the rights to all the Peter Jackson movies.
That's all I'm saying. So, we'll see. They made a live action Cowboy Bebop, and that didn't work. So making an anime Lord of the Rings, I don't know where we're going to be. And also anime Rick and Morty, not better.
No, anime Blade Runner was good. Anime Terminator has been good. I think
Animatrix was okay. It was just a different medium. So I'm just saying, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alan, what are you doing for fun?
What am I doing for fun? Well, me and my significant other booked our trip to Walt Disney World the other day. Dan knows about this, so that'll be fun. But what we're doing for fun right now is we're going to go see a new film called The Wild Robot tonight. New DreamWorks film. Have you guys heard of it?
Have we heard of it? I took my kids to see it.
How was it?
My 8-year-old read the books at school. They're doing a big push. It's like the new Harry Potter. Like get kids into reading using like a big popular movie. And my 8-year-old actively sobbed through the last 15 minutes of it. She was that emotionally moved. And my 11-year-old was actively sobbing by the end of it. Like, it is one of the best animated features I have seen in 10 years. It is so good.
I've heard nothing but amazing things. And it's the How to Train Your Dragon guy and the Lilo and Stitch guy. So he knows how to tell a story. Yeah, he doesn't miss. Chris Sanders. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to go see Wild Robot tonight.
What are you up for fun?
Recently I have, I'm kind of in the middle of it now, but I love a good audiobook, for certain things. It's got to really like wrap my attention. It's got to be the right narrator. There's specifics. And I have owned the book for a while of The Good Neighbor, which is the life and work of Fred Rogers, who I love Mr. Rogers very, very much. And I thought, okay, I'm going to read this book. I'm very interested. And then I came across the audiobook. And the audiobook is read by Reading Rainbow's own LeVar Burton. And I was like, I'm done. I can't read.
Doesn't get much better than that.
This is the only way I can consume this book now. The book stays on the shelf. I got LeVar. You got me. And so LeVar Burton has been telling me about the life of Mr. Rogers, and I'm not sure it gets any better than that. So that's been very, very good. The book is very interesting. Mr. Rogers enjoyed a swear now and then. This is something you wouldn't expect, but he always
kind of like me.
He was always a little giggly about it when he did it, which is very cute.
He's in the service.
Yeah. No, he wasn't. That never happened.
He's a decorated Marine.
Everyone knows he had those. Yeah, the tattoos under his sweater.
No, look at this. Look at this. You know what? In an age of disinformation, you have got. You got to be a proponent of.
It's true. It's 100% true.
No.
Foolish mortals, just know that. Yeah,
he helped fake the moon landing.
Dan has.
He did.
Don, I don't know if you know, but Dan bought all of Alex Jones's InfoWars stuff in the auction.
Right? No,
so.
I have heard about that. He's been texting me nonstop about all
so
of
this
his
is
gay frogs.
This is his whole thing.
So
now.
I got this cheap mic.
Yeah,
it smells like gay frogs, but.
So anyway, that's what I've been up to. It's been fun.
It's been fun. This has been great.
It's been
Dallin,
fun.
Thanks for returning.
Yeah.
The podcast is over now. So,
oh man!
If people want to watch your things, go watch it. They know. You don't need to tell people where you are.
Offhand Disney.
Don't even tell them. Yeah, if they can't read your lower third.
MagicCandleCompany.com offer code.
Nice. Thanks for watching, guys, and hurry back.
Hurry back. There we go.
Hurry back. Hurry back.
This has been a production of 710 Media.